Hello sunshine, this is Joy from Michigan in the US, and I want to wish you all a very happy new year. I hope you guys had a great New Year's Eve and that your year is off to a decent start. I know it's been a crazy past, I don't know, 9-10 months for everyone, so hoping that the new year brings lots of positivity and we can look back on 2021 as a very different year from 2020. So this is a 10 by 20 inch canvas. It's just a level 1, so it's just the thinner style, which is great for when I'm practicing something that I'm not quite sure that I have all the tweaks worked out yet. So here we go. I'm going to do a ring pour. I'm thinking I just kind of want to stretch it here and then have some black on either corner. We'll see. We'll see if it ends up being that way. I tried to pick out colors that represented some of my hopes for the new year. Some things are hard to come up with a color for. One of the things that one of my subscribers mentioned and I thought was such a great word for 2021 was restoration. And I'm not sure what color would represent restoration, but you know, as they put the colors in the cup, feel free to add your own words. Put them in the comments, what you're hoping for in 2021. And I don't want to put the pressure on 2021. I don't need any craziness, but here's hoping it's a better year. All right, so I don't even know which of these colors I'm going to use, and if I'll add some more, I might. We have cerulean blue, phthalo blue, 24 karat gold by Extreme Sheen, Deco Arts Extreme Sheen line, which is fantastic. Violet, copper, rouge, lake blue, and then I have a custom mix of black and silver, and of course some white. So I'm just, oh, and I've got some red. I thought it might be nice to have just a flash of red in there. So these are custom colors I've got from these little jars. I don't remember the name of the base color, but they're like super sparkly. They might be from the Extreme Sheen line too. I can't remember. But I did these for Christmas ornaments and I had so much left. I kind of like this one better. This might be garnet, but we'll see. All right, let's get started. I'm going to start with white and then the 24 karat gold. I am going to try to fill the cup, which might be a more paint than I need since I don't want to cover the entire canvas, but I'd rather have too much than too little. I can always pour more off, but when you go to add colors to a ring pour, it kind of gets a little crazy. All right, I'm loving my metallics, guys. This copper is so pretty. And then we'll throw some black and silver. This is that lovely rouge. And then we'll go to violet. This is one of those that I'm just kind of winging. So who knows what it'll turn out like. Ooh, this looks pretty thick. Pretty thick paint, but that's okay. It's super sheeny shiny, which I love. I would like to try to do a piece this size with resin, but it makes me nervous. So we'll see. Try some more white. Oh dear, did you guys see that clump? I have to see if I can get that out when I pour it before I stretch it. Oh, there was another one. Oh, this blue must be old. I have had a lot of paintings where the gold takes over, so you kind of have to be, I thought when I picked out gold, that was my color for hope. And I thought, well, if you have a little bit of hope, it'll stretch a long ways, just like the gold does. So I thought that was appropriate. Hopefully this turns out lovely. We shall see. So if you've not already subscribed, I would love it, love it, love it if you'd hit that subscribe button. It would make me happy. I have been pleased to see that even though I've been a little bit slow to post videos, I'm still having new people coming to my channel. That makes me happy. I started this channel back in March during quarantine, maybe April, as a way to keep me in my art room, because there's a lot of therapy that I get from creating. And so with everything with COVID, I just needed some extra time to create. And so creating a YouTube channel kind of forced me to get out here and create, because I know I have people that are watching it, so it's not just about me. So I hope this inspires you to create something that you love. I love to hear from people, so if you have thoughts, comments, feel free to leave those. I always try to read them and respond in some way. I'm almost done, and I'm almost gonna put a clump in there. There, I got it out. Don't think I'm gonna fill the cup to the very top, because I don't think we need that much. Go back to this blue that's been clumpy. You know, some of these paints are really, really old. I haven't had a whole lot of issues with my paints clumping, but some of these are so old that I should not be surprised. All right, I'm gonna move these paints out of the way. I did finish up my little container of red, but I still have my lighter one, so I can use that in another pour. All right, I got some little crumbs. All right, we'll see how this works. I think I said I was gonna do a ring pour, but it may be like a straight pour and a jiggle pour and a little bit of everything. This is more of a straight pour. Come over here and switch it to a ring pour. So when I go up and then down, the higher you pour from, the more likely your colors are to mix. So if I get this going and I go up here, it's going to blend the colors, and as I come down, it's going to have more separation between the colors. Here's some lovely white for the center. I did not see that big clump come out, guys. So I'm not sure where it is. I'll have to watch for it. Right. There we go. That end part is always so intimidating because you can really mess up a pour by having an odd center. So, all right. I almost feel like I got too much white, guys. Okay, we're gonna bring that back to center just a bit so I can stretch the other two corners. Oh, I see the clump. All right, let me find a bamboo skewer. No, we can't talk today. Get one of my little skewers. See it right here? So these clumps will definitely add lines to your painting that you don't want. Removing it does the same thing, but I'm just going to come back and see if I can do something with that. Okay, I have to call that good enough. It would be smart for me to strain my paints that have been sitting for a while before I try to put them in a cup to pour. But alas, that's not what I did, so it's interesting seeing the little speckles. I'm guessing that's the glitter from all the metallics. Ooh, this is stretching wonky. All right, let's see if we can fix that. All right, so bear with me. I'm gonna go grab I just want straight black for my edges, not the metallic black. So give me just a minute, I'll be right back with you. All right, so let's add some black. It'll be our flow extender. Right there. And I'm gonna move it back in first. It'll help kind of move my lines a little bit. And then we're gonna stretch it out this way. Kind of tricky to watch the entire composition, but I'll do what I can and hope that it turns out okay. Paint's moving pretty slowly, which is okay. I wanted more of a galaxy feel to this, and I feel like I've just stretched it kind of wonky and it's not got that kind of a feel to it. So I'm just trying to kind of fix that with that last tilt. So I'm going to add black here, especially on my edges. Make sure I get those completely covered. And I really don't like that, so I'm just going to run that off with my black, cover it up, a little magic eraser action. There we go. And then I'll just tip that just a little to run that over the edge a little bit more evenly. But I don't worry about it being perfect because the canvas will absorb it. So I think it'll be okay. Let's see, right here. See if we can get that line a little better. Okay, now the other side. Adding some negative space here. Okay. Getting black all over me. I usually wear gloves when I'm using black, but didn't do that today. So I'm helping this one along a little bit by spreading it because I don't really want to stretch this side too much. Ooh, but I do want to get that clump off of there. Yuck. So I don't want to stretch these lines a whole lot. So if I add this black and then spread it this way, I don't have to do as much tilting because I'm kind of liking what I have. There's some little tweaks I want to do, but I don't want to tilt it too much at this point. Sorry, this is the boring part. Just trying to make sure everything gets a nice thick coat of black. All right, that should do it. So now with my stick, you could also do this with your finger. I don't like getting black paint on my fingers because it just doesn't wash off very well. Just make sure your whole edge is covered. You don't want a section of missing paint. So Let's see, I do have a section that was from the pour. So I'm going to just picking up just a little bit with my finger just to cover this corner because it was white and I don't want any bare canvas showing through. So before I do any more adjusting on my my composition, goodness, I couldn't think of the word, I'm just checking for any little areas that need to be fixed. I don't want to, oh my goodness, I'm getting blue instead of black. I don't want to miss something because I'm worried about composition and have to try to fix it once it's dry. It's much easier to fix while it's still wet. My goodness. Just having issues on this side, guys. I'm taking all the paint off with my little stick here. My corner's nice and covered. I think we should be pretty good. Okay. So now I think that I have the canvas upside down as far as orientation, but I'm going to try to just fix this little edge here. Okay. I'm going to flip my canvas around so I can look at it the way that I think is going to be up. This can be kind of scary because I don't want to drop it. Oh, okay. Which gives me another opportunity to check my sides as well, and there is an area here that got completely missed. So we'll just fix that. All right. Inevitably, I will have air bubbles, so I'm going to use, I have an embossing gun. You can use a creme brulee torch. I've used that as well. I do like that. Works fairly well. Or even a propane torch, which I've never used. They're a little scary, but keep in mind that paint will catch on fire. So if you're using an actual flame, just be cautious. All right. Just going to add some heat, pop the air bubbles. If you overheat your paint with either an embossing gun or a torch of some sort, you will get cracking in your real fine fissures in the paint, and you don't want that. So be careful how long you hold any source of heat to your painting. All right, I think we need to try to go just a little bit this way. Watch where the paint is moving. That'll kind of tell you where the weight of the paint is. And that's gonna, eventually it'll move. It's going, it's just slow. I feel like we're getting a lot more movement on this end where I don't really want it to move than we are where I want it to move. See if we can kind of fix that without, oh, there's another clump. Where did it go? I'm not convinced I can get it out without ruining the painting, but I feel like I need to try. All right, well that didn't do too much damage, I don't think. Let's see if we can bring the weight. I'm trying to bring the weight more towards the middle of the painting so then I can stretch what I'm looking to stretch, which is that section right there that's now moving, so that's making me happy. I'm getting a little bit too much movement where I've put the black, which is typical. You can use that as a kind of a paint stretcher, if you will. So I am seeing some movement on the side that I'm not trying to move, that I'm not loving, but I will work with it. See if we can't get it to look okay. Getting just a wonky bit here. Sorry, you guys probably can't see what I'm doing. I feel like I'm messing it up is what I'm doing, but there are some really wonky bits. All right. Just gonna try to run some of those off because I am liking the stretching that I'm getting, bringing up some reds and pinks, and I like what I'm seeing there. So we're just gonna, I don't usually stretch my ring pores this much, but I kind of like what this one's doing. All right, I'm gonna go back this way. It'll let me. It's moving really slowly. I've poured a lot of paint off, so it's definitely an effort of patience. But I really want to open up some of these lines and see more detail there. Don't think it's going to have a very well-defined center because I've stretched it so much. So if you wanted your lines to be less wonky, don't stretch it as much as I am. I may end up repouring this one, guys. Yeah, I'm not loving it. If at first you don't succeed, well, we will try again. Yes, I'm not loving this one. So, oh, that was my embossing gun. I'm gonna try to clean my hands off here a little bit. They have black all over them, so it's gonna be real messy. All right, so I think I had too much white in the middle, so let's use a little less white. So you know what, let's start with the gold and then go white. See what that does. Gold. And I'm going to use my other red because I used up, if you remember, I used up the other one, which will give me a little bit of pink. Let's do some phthalo blue first to separate the white from the red. Not that I mind pink, but this is already kind of a light red, so I don't want to go too pale with it, but I think it will add a nice bit of contrast. And I think maybe I should try to do some thicker layers this time. So let's try that too. Going from light blue to deeper blue. Sorry guys, this is going to be a really long video. Fast forward the bits you don't care for, I suppose, is the best advice. Let's do, don't want too much gold. Like I've said, it does have a tendency to take over, so here's some of this lovely rouge. Some violet, which does tend to go really dark, so I'm going to go ahead and add some white after the violet. Hopefully that'll help lighten it up a little bit. Trying to think of what color I want next, guys. Let's do copper. Black Black and silver. Phthalo blue. Oh, I got it. And then a little bit more of the black. So my outer edges will be darker, is what I'm hoping. There was another clump in there. Okay, I'm just gonna end up mixing the paints if I keep messing with it, so I'm just gonna let it be. All right, you know what? I'm gonna throw a little red on there too, because I don't mind if I pour this off, but it would be helpful to have a little bit more to stretch it. Okay. Attempt number 2. So a little bit of everything in this one as far as technique. Look at that lacing I got in the cells, my goodness. That's interesting. I kind of like that. Oh, that was a clump, but we're gonna let that be and see how we do. Wow. Oh my goodness, this is so interesting. I really like this through here. I like the lacing here. I'm gonna let this develop for just a minute. Still slowly stretching. I love that red in there with that copper. That sure looks pretty. And then we've got some lacing with the blues too. Very interesting. All right, I'm gonna hit it with some heat just to pop any air bubbles. All right, I'm going to stop my video because I want to get a picture of this before I stretch it. So I'll be right back. Okay, here we go. I love this, so I'm going to try to stretch that first in the hopes that we'll preserve it that way. Because it'll kind of condense it, but then when we stretch the other way, oh, but it is rolling over on itself a little bit. We'll lose some of it. It's okay. And then let's just come back. Oh, these are going to be huge cells, guys. Look at that, my goodness. So different. Okay. Oh, I'm losing my cells and I really don't want to do that. I'm yelling at myself here, but we're gonna have to lose some of them. All right. Wowzers. I'm really not gonna stretch this one much more, guys. I am just about done. Just a little bit down there. Okay. Wow. All right, I'm gonna look at this for a minute. I will be back. Let me know what you guys think. I think the second was much better than the first. All right, guys, this second attempt is done. I love it. It has turned out so interesting. Hopefully that means we don't need a second attempt at 2021. Oh my. It just had so many different effects going on. So let me take you in for a close-up. These little tiny pebbly little dots in this section are so like almost ghosty dots. And then these big giant bronze lined cells. We've got a little bit of fracturing going on in this white, which I kind of like. The little blue cracks showing. It's very interesting. Got some lovely blending here with the copper and the blue. And then our typical, that's sort of, I don't know, I think that's a typical center on a ring pour with the lovely gold fingers kind of circling around. Get some good defined lines here. And then as we go out, it becomes more monochrome. It's not ever monochrome, but the lines are more thicker, not more thick. And then we've got this little bit, it's so hard to show you guys with the reflection right now, but just colors that are just peeking through that black. Here the gold's really popping nicely. And then down to this corner, or up to this corner, I should say. I love the effects here with the rouge and the copper. There's just so much, the lacing or whatever this speckling is, which is probably from the metallic. And then these lovely lines here. I'm happy. Let me know what you guys think. Better than the first one? I think it's better by far, but I'd love to hear your opinion. All right, guys, thanks so much for joining me. I will see you on the next one.